Welcome to the podcast, and great to have you with me again for another week. So, look, I want just this week to, you're going to have to excuse me for it. I'm going to be a little bit, not self-serving is the wrong word here, but I'm going to be a bit open and honest. So, this week, by the time you're listening to the podcast this week, I'm a few days away from my 50th birthday. So, my 50th birthday is upon me. And I've decided that in this week's podcast, I'm just going to talk about 50 things that I've learned by the time I'm 50. And I thought they might be useful for you because they're going to share some snippets and ideas and things of my life that I've been through that have taught me things since I've been in business. I've been in business on my own in business for 20 years, but working in a career since I was 11. I've been in corporate career, started when I left university, and run my own businesses for 20 years. So yeah, in this week's episode, I'm going to talk to you about 50 things that I've learned by the time I'm 50. And what I'm also going to do, more importantly, I've decided to do a massive prize giveaway. So I want you to, if you listen to this and think, oh, what could that be? At the end of the podcast, I'll share with you details on how you can get access to it. I'm going to basically give away £5,000, around about £5,000 worth of prizes for basically anyone that enters. So yeah, these are all to celebrate my 50th year on this planet, and that's what I'm going to do. So look, I wanted just to, as I say, share these ideas. They're things around love and friendship, I guess, and things in my life, life itself, a bit about business, and also around sales, because obviously I wouldn't be able to do this podcast if it wasn't around sales and growing the business and achieving things. And look, I also want to just say a big thank you to those that are listening. The podcast numbers are going up month on month, which is great. People are finding it helpful and useful. I get so many different messages from people. And so please do send me your messages of things that are helping you. If the podcast is giving you ideas that you can implement and work with, that's fantastic. Please do share it with me. I love to receive the messages. I do reply to each one individually. And so reach out and let me know what you think. So yeah, look, let me give you so lesson number one. What's the first thing I've learned? One lesson that I've learned. These aren't in any particular order. There's no particular priority to them, but these are just things that when I was thinking about doing this and wanted to do the competition, it came to me. So I guess point number one is having a purpose that makes you smile, makes everything feel better. And I start that off by number one, because my purpose is to help people achieve better sales results, to help them win more business and achieve success. So for me, that's been my purpose for the last sort of nearly 8-9 years, and it will be my purpose until I'm in a box. And I think having a purpose that makes you smile makes everything feel better. So that's point number one. Point number two is this. I think at the end of the day, the battle is only ultimately with yourself. And what I mean by this, there are so many times we compare ourselves to people on social media and look at other people and think what they're doing and what they're seeing, other salespeople, other business owners. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the battle's only with you. And I guess what I mean by that is, you know, when we come to the end, we can't change that. We can't change it's only about what we've managed to achieve in our life and what we've done, not to compare and look at other people. So focus on maybe that. Stop comparing yourself and maybe focus on how you can be the better version of you today and tomorrow. And if that you can do that, then great, you're in good shape. And point number three is champagne just doesn't have to just be drunk on celebrations. It's a great drink. And I remember one of my favourite moments is with my ex-chairman wandering down Sanford Chime in Bournemouth, 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, once he'd been involved in a deal that he'd done well, and was slugging a bottle of Veuve Clicquot as he walked down the promenade, and makes me smile when I think about that. Even though other people thought he was a bit of a drunkard for doing it, he just didn't care. He was going to celebrate. He wanted just to enjoy himself and enjoy life. So yeah, go. Champagne just doesn't have to be drunk on celebrations. Okay, point number four is this. Change is very hard to start with, but glorious at the end. And what do I mean by that? So there's lots of things that I've done in my life where I've tried to change from where I was to where I am. And the journey of that process of change is really hard to do. But when you do make it happen, it feels great towards the end, especially if the purpose behind that change means something to you. So yeah, I just encourage you to, if you're going through some changes, don't initially give up on things. People give up too early. Keep going, keep fighting, keep understanding why you wanted to do what you did, and it will make the end result much better. Point number 5, travel to some different places and experience some different cultures and foods. I just think it improves you as a person and gives you perspective. I've been lucky enough to travel to some incredible places in the world, And every time I go there, it makes me very grateful for who I am or what I have based on where I live. But it also makes me able to understand and see things from someone else's perspective and see the way other people operate and work. And I think that's a really critical thing in order to live the life that we want to live and to be appreciative of what we have. So when you get that different perspective and different foods and try different cultures and try different things, you never know, you may not like it. If you don't like it, spit it out and take it, don't have to do it again. But when you try stuff and you give it a chance, you never know what happens. Point number 6 is, this is a real weird one related to business, but it's one I've learned over time, and that's don't work with dicks or people who don't have the same values as yourself. You just won't give your best. It's a really hard one, especially in sales and business. People always think you should work with anyone. And I've learned over time when the people that I just don't have a connection with, or I just don't feel that are respectful or have the same approach as I do, I just don't give my best. So, point number 6 is don't work with dicks or people that aren't the same or don't have the same values as you. They might be different, but what's their value system and how do they live their life? And if that doesn't work, then maybe you won't give your best to them. Point number 7 is this: the experience of making someone smile beats most other things. And I say that because I know when people have sent me things I've helped them with, it makes me feel incredible. It's why I do what I do. And I think the experience of making someone smile just is a great feeling. Some people don't enjoy that. Other people do. I'm one of the people that loves it. If I can make someone smile, then it's going to help me become a better person, and it makes my day better. So that's why I keep saying to you, if you like the podcast and what you listen to, let me know. It makes my day. It makes me want to do more of this sort of stuff. But I think the experience of making someone smile or feel better beats most other things. Point number 8. Some days you're the dog, some days you're the lamppost. Accepting that is a great start. And you might think, oh, what a weird thing to say. But the reality is some days are just not great. Other days are good. And my old mate, Pete Trigo, told me that saying, and it stuck with me for a long period of time, and it makes me feel, it's my whole when I think about it, because some days you feel great. You're the dog, you're cocking your leg and everything was amazing. The other day you're the lamppost and you're being peed upon. And that's the reality. We've got to accept in life. When we accept that not every day is going to be perfect, then it makes actually the tougher days okay, because we know good times are coming. So accept that as part of that process. Point number 9 is this: take videos of people you love. Photos don't quite do enough when those people have gone. And I'm going to say that based upon a personal experience of my mum passing away 5 years ago. I never had enough videos of her. I wish I'd done more videos of her, some memories and mementos and times when she was on video. I've got lots of photos of her and I look at those on a daily basis, but I don't have enough videos of her. And so take videos of people you love, because you never know when they're going to be gone. Point number 10 is this: build a list of what I would call layer 1 people in the core of your onion. So there's a video on my YouTube channel I've done around how people are, core in your world. And I talk about layers, so layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. And the whole idea behind this is too many people worry about people in layer 3s and 4s when these people aren't the core to you. And layer 1 people are the people you'll call in the event of your life being something major happening in your life. And if a crisis happened, who would you call? Who's the friends or family members or the people that you love most that you'd call, that you'd want to call upon for help? And those people are really core. And I guess my point to you is, those people will be there in your darkest hours. So spend time for them, make time for them. Spend time to message them or to call them and just to see how they're doing. They're important and they'll be there for you in your darkest times, or you want them to be there. So make sure you make some time for them just to say hello and see how they're doing. Small things matter. Okay, point number 11 is some people will come with you on the journey of life, but some won't. And some people you love will won't come with you on the journey of the life, and some won't. I've been lucky enough to build some incredible friendships and relationships over the years. And there are many people that are on that journey with me and that will stay on that journey until it finishes. And there's some I thought would be on that journey with me that haven't stayed with that journey for whatever reason. It's not gone the way it is. And it's a harsh reality, but it's one that's true. And not everyone that you love does come on that journey. Sometimes people can't see it or they don't want to be part of it. And it's sad, but it's reality and you've got to deal with it. Point number 12 is this: think twice about burning bridges, even on roads you no longer wish to travel on. I made a big mistake years ago when I left 3Com, my company. I remember sending an email copied to the CEO, basically slating him. And someone said to me once afterwards, what did you gain from that? And bar a 10-minute satisfaction after pressing send and maybe a few moments of, look what I've done, it didn't serve me well. So A lot of people think, no, I'm going to burn the bridges and I'm not going to go back to where it is. That's fine. But I guess I'm one of these people that says, just, even if you don't wish to travel on that road, can you end with love? Can you finish that without there being a burned, disastrous bridge, or does it have to go that way? I'd encourage you to think twice about burning bridges. I've never tried to burn them. Always keep something open. You never know what might happen in the future. Point number 13, learn to respect other people's views, even if they're different to their own. We live in a world, sadly, now where it feels like we can't accept other people's views, and just because they think A and you think B, that it's as if you're supposed to fight and not come together. And I actually don't think that's what life's about. Life's about accepting and understanding other people's views, even if you don't agree with them. Learn to respect their views, even if they're different to your own. And if you can do that, it's going to enhance you. It's going to improve your mindset and give you a different perspective, which sometimes you may find useful in times to come. Point number 14. This is the one that I've struggled with all of my life, but when I have got it right, it works well. And that's self-discipline is the key to many different locks. So many things in my business and personal life that are driven by self-discipline. When I am disciplined, I've just spent a month of being incredibly disciplined, not eating or drinking anything that I shouldn't do. And I felt amazing for it. And I put my mind to it, I can achieve it. When I do things when I'm disciplined about doing things that I want to business-wise, great things happen. When I'm not achieving my best, it's when I'm not as disciplined as I need to. So self-discipline, I think, is the key to many different locks. How self-disciplined are you? There's a good thing to think about. Point number 15, really simple one. Look after something if you think it's special, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a possession that you have, what it is, whether it's your health, whether it's your mental state, whatever it is. Look after it. If you think it's special and important to you, then make sure you make time for it and look after it. We always seem to not spend time and look after the things that are really important and they're gone. And when they're gone, they're gone. So point number 16, save, but live life for the moment as well. Our time on earth is a short one. As I get to 50, so many people are telling me, sadly, about people that have passed away in sudden experiences, or people I know that are sadly suffering from cancer and other diseases right now in 50s. And I think to myself, wow, you worked all your life and suddenly you're potentially, you're struggling with an illness. So yes, save, of course, it's important. We're always taught to put everything into a pension, and that's great, but also live life now, because the reality is when you're 65, 70, 80, you may not be able to do some of the things that you want to do or have the inclination to do it. So make sure you live life now. And point number 17, sort of linked to that other one, is money is a nice to have, but it won't guarantee you happiness. Sure, money's important and it helps us do the things we need to do, and it gives us choice and it gives us freedom, but it doesn't buy happiness. Some of the wealthiest people I know have had some tough times in the past because other things have affected them. So don't just think money will make you happy. It doesn't. And to live in and to build onto that point number 18 is, we all like possessions, but you can only live in one house at a time or drive one car at a time. You can only wear one watch at a time. Wearing two will make you look like a bit of a numpty. So the reality is, whilst these possessions are good to have, reality is you can't, use them. Can you really use them that much? I don't know. I think people that have all those possessions, sometimes, are they really happy? I'm not sure. And there's a great quote someone said to me once that, that they'll have something that those people will never have, which is enough. And the question is, have you got enough? Point number 19, don't let pride get in the way of saying sorry if the person you argue means something to you. If they're in layer 1, if they're even in layer 2, they mean something to you and they're important, then don't let pride get in the way of saying sorry. I had an incident on a golf tour a couple of months back where I did something I shouldn't have done, and the person that I said it to, I was wrong, and it could have affected things in my friendship. But I knew I was wrong, and I told them I was wrong and said sorry and tried to solve it. And I think if that person means something to you, or then don't let pride get in the way of a fall. Accept that you're wrong, or accept that you might have to come together to fix it and make it happen. Point number 20, do something daily. And by the way, all of these I'm going to put into a list that you've got access to them, so you don't just have to listen to the podcast. I'll give them all in a list. But point number 20, do something daily to challenge yourself. Something small, and maybe soon after you wake up, will give you the confidence for the day. Why do I say that? Because doing challenges has been something that's important for me. I've done challenges every day. For the last year, I've done press-ups every day. For the last 3-4 years, I've done cold showers every day. I try and do something challenging every day, even if it's small, just to push myself. And I think it makes you feel better. And then point number 21 is do a big challenge every few years. So something that really hurts and pushes you physically and mentally, but which helps shape and create you. And I think if you can do that, I've done my 110-100 challenge. I've done the NC 500 challenge. I've done David Goggins' 4x4 48 challenge. And I'm doing a challenge later this year called 1 million meters. Doing challenges that are tough just creates something different in your brain. You become hardened and tougher, and the ability to handle things just happens there. So do something big. Do a daily challenge, but do something big challenge, which can push you, but can help really create and form you to be the person you want to be, or be the person you are. But linked to that, point number 22 is the journey is actually just as much fun as the destination. Sometimes when I've been doing those challenges, I've been thinking about getting to the end, and I've looked back and gone, actually, when I look back at doing my NC 500 bike ride where we cycled around Scotland, there was nothing beats having those 7 days with three of my closest friends and spending time on a bike together. Nothing beat that. Even though we wanted to finish, it was the journey that was as much fun as the destination. Point number 23, sleep is really important. The studies I read about it show it's so important. You can't function without it properly. Prioritize it. Some days you do have less sleep than others. Make up for it and catch up and have naps or whatever else. But if you can try and get 7 or 8 hours in, it's so important for us to function and operate. It's important. Don't ignore it. Don't think you don't need it. You do, and you need to fix it if you can't sleep. Point number 24 is give someone a compliment every day. Simple little thing to do. Just give someone a compliment every day. Helps them maybe change their world for that moment. Give them a compliment today. Think who today you can give a compliment to. Whatever it is, something small. Never know. It's worth it. What impact it can have on their life. Point number 25. The mirror never lies. Don't blame others for your own failures. When I look at things that I've done wrong or got wrong, invariably, it's easy to blame other people. It's easy to always say, oh, someone else was at fault or was at fault. But actually, the person you need to look at is in the mirror. And I believe if you can, take responsibility for that, as I'll talk about in point number 26 is actually take responsibility for the fuck ups you make. When you get things wrong, when you mess up, take responsibility for that. Don't blame others for your failures. Take responsibility. Point number 27. Once you've turned left on a plane, you never want to go right again. Something I'm learning definitely as I get into my 50s. Don't really want to go into economy anymore, especially when I'm traveling long distances. Have to earn the money to be able to do that. But once you turn left, you'll never want to go right. Point number 28. Being personable. Be personable and put yourself in the shoes of the other person. So much of the time in life and business, we tend to think what's right for us, but we don't think about what's right for the person that we're engaging with. So I encourage you just to think, a little bit more about how would that person feel? What are they thinking right now? What could be something that would make them feel uncomfortable or uncertain? Point number 29, you can't take possessions to your grave, but you can take memories. And like I said, what I've said before, some of the best advice I've given and best things I've done are when I've done things and experienced things. And I've got a bucket list. And if you'd like to see what was on my bucket list, let me know. Reach out in the comment section if you want to know. I might even publish my bucket list on LinkedIn or on social channels for my birthday. But I've got a bucket list of things I'm going to do. And I'm taking the steps to go and get those things done because life's too short. I may not be here in 5-10 years. So I'm going to get as many of them done as I can. Point number 30. You don't need lots of friends, I don't think, in life, but you need one or two that you can trust your life with. So a lot of people are obsessed by having lots and lots of friends and lots of people. And yeah, sure, it's great to know lots of people, but true friends, people that are literally are just the people that you know are always going to be there for you, that you can trust your life with. I think you only need one or two of them. And I'm blessed that I have that. Point number, 31, like I said, is the journey of life is full of ups and downs, and accepting that is key, and accepting that you're gonna, there's some mistakes you'll make and some experiences you'll have, but see it for what it is, which is it's the chance to live another day. And I always look at this and think, every day I wake up with a gratitude that thank you, I'm still here. I'm not sure who to. I'm not religious as such, but I say thank you for giving me another chance, and I go to bed saying. Thank you for letting me have another day. And because you never know, one day I might not wake up. You might be listening to this podcast in the future and I've not woke up. But just know that I went to bed thinking, thanks for letting me have a chance. And I wake up that next morning going, hey, thanks for giving me a chance today. Point number 32 is failures don't define you. They have just molded you into being the person you are. I've failed in lots of ways, in lots of areas. I've got lots of things wrong. I don't think they define me. They've made me stronger. They've made me a better person. But they don't define you. Nothing has to define you. Those failures, those things you got wrong, those things that didn't happen, don't have to define you as a person. You can go and build and achieve something, whatever you want to now. So many people, and I love the fact that so many people in business are creating businesses from their 50s, even though they've had failures. And I always use the Max Levchin quote, which was, business 1 failed, business 2 I struggled with, business 3 failed again, business 4 had another problem, business 5 was PayPal, and the guy made millions. James Dyson failed 270 odd times when he was trying to build his first Dyson vacuum cleaner. Look what happened to him. So it doesn't define you. They just mold you into being who you are. Point number 34. Stay curious about people and the world. I think those people in sales, the best people in sales and life are people that are curious. They're intrigued. They're interested in other people and what they've got to say and what they've got to think to do. And I think that makes a massive difference when it comes to just being able to better yourselves and to think about bettering yourself as a person. Okay. Point number 33, I think it is, I'm on now, is about business, is about taking action. Generally in life, nothing gets done when we think about it. It's when we do something about it. And the reality is, whether it's a new challenge you're taking, whether it's a new thing you want to achieve, just start by taking some action. I've been doing this press-up challenge for the last year, and I now do 250 a day. And someone says to me, wow, I couldn't do 250, but I started doing 10. When you do 10, you build it, you build up from there. So take some action. Don't just think about it, do something about it. Point number 35, if you don't believe in yourself, then why should someone else? And I use this based upon and many things in life around whether it's your personal relationships, whether it's your business relationships, but try and build that belief in yourself, build that thought process that you can. And we do these things by challenging ourselves and pushing ourselves forward. But if you want, especially in sales and business, someone to believe in you, why should they do that if you don't believe in yourself? And someone always told me, would you buy your own product? And the reality is, if you wouldn't, then maybe you've got a bit of work to do to make sure that you improve that to be in a position to, or believe more in it in order to sell it effectively. Point number 36, if someone matters to you, then tell them that. A lot of the time, we're all worried about saying stuff to people. We're afraid of saying to people, well, what happens and what should do and whatever else. And we're afraid of, maybe, especially men, we're afraid of sharing our emotions. So if someone matters to you, tell them something. Doesn't matter, what's the worst that can happen? They say it's not for them, or they don't feel that way, or whatever, or they don't feel the same. Hey, you've not lost anything. At least you've done what you want to do. And if it matters to you, you've said your piece. But point number 37, develop some life values and try and live and do your best to live by them daily. I have 5 values that I try and live, or 6 values. If I've added another one in the last few years, but 6 values that are really critical to me, which are accountability, passion, learning, quality, respect, and integrity. And those are the things that I try and live my best by per day. I don't always do that. I don't always, I wish I was perfect. I'm not, but I think develop some life values, and anything you do, ask yourself the question, do these fit into my values? Point number 38, 80% of people, I think, seem to sell badly. It's a harsh reality, but it's true from the amount of salespeople I've spoken with and trained. And I just think 80% of people sell badly. They sell based on what they want, not what the other person wants. And so I'm going to keep it's my life work to try and change that. By the way, I'm moving on to some sales ones now, with one other one to finish at the end, because I thought this is a sales podcast. You don't want to hear some sales ones to do that. So point number 39, sales happens when you are not desperate. So one of the things I've talked to my teams about and people I train on a regular basis is the moment you're too desperate for things, it never happens. The moment you go, hey, I'm just going to do it what I can and give my best and do my best, things seem to happen. So avoid that desperation. Desperation, stinky aftershave or perfume. Point number 40, sales isn't about selling. It's about problem solving or helping people achieve their dreams. I say this, and I say it time and time and time again to people. If you're focused on selling, you will fail. If you focus on solving a problem or helping someone achieve something, you will succeed. And point number 41 is sales isn't about talking, it's about listening. I truly believe that most people sell badly because they don't listen enough, and they focus on their voice or wanting to be heard rather than really listening to what's been said. Point number 42, sales isn't subservience. It's a meeting of equal minds. Now, you might think this is a weird one. You might think, well, surely I've got to bow down to the customer to get the business from them. When we bow down to people and make them feel that they're more important than us, then things start to go wrong. great sales and the best sales are done when two people come together that are a match, and one person values something, the other person feels what they offer is a great fit, and they match and they come together. It's a meeting of equal minds. It's not about subservience and bowing down at the table or the altar of your customer or your prospect. Doing that sets a bad precedent. So if you want to become successful and great at sales, understand that it's not about subservience. Point number 43 is the best sales isn't about pushing to sell. The best way to sell is the exit door. And if there's one tip I'm going to give people, and I've done this in my podcasts and videos, it's to give people the exit door. So what I mean by that is to say to them, hey, if this isn't right for you, no dramas, totally understand, and we wish you well. You might feel like it's the wrong thing to do. It's not. Point number 44, sales is about simple daily disciplines rather than periodic spurts of activity. So I engage with lots of people a lot of the time, and they'll basically say, oh, we can get into a campaign and we'll do some work for a period of time. Whereas actually it's the sort of hare and tortoise. It's the continual effect day after day after day after day that wins the race. So nearly at the end now, 5 more to go. And then I'm going to share with you a bit more about the competition. And more importantly, I'm also going to, as I finish with an inspirational story, and this one you want to hear, I think, which is, so point number 45 is sales is about showing value before showing vanity. Again, lots of people want to show the watches and who they are and their company's strength and what they're about. But it's actually the value that you can bring that matters to the other person. Point number 46, when you're out networking and meeting other people, network like a farmer and not a hunter. You don't want to be the person that others think, oh, thank God they're gone when you leave. And you might think, I don't care what people say, but deep down it's going to hurt your brand and make people think you're not the sort of person they want to do business with. So network like a farmer, building, nurturing relationships rather than trying to hunt people down. Point number 47, and this is getting to the couple of the key elements of maybe finishing off this 50 things that I've learned in my life. Understand and spot different types of people and adjust your approach with them. If there's one thing I've learned in my life is that not everyone is the same. And the moment I've now been able to spot and see different people and how they are and what they think about and how they react, and then adjust my approach, it turbocharged what I do. So yeah, understand and spot different types of people and become an expert at that. And there's lots of videos I've shared around emotional intelligence, which we'll talk about in a moment as well. Point 48, breathing solves in a purposeful way will solve so many different problems. When I'm going through a difficult moment, the ability to breathe. When I'm doing my cold dips in Weston's 2-degree waters, breathing. When I'm feeling angry and upset, breathing. When I'm feeling happy and I don't want to get over enthused, breathing. Breathing solves, and breathing purposely solves so many different problems. Point number 49, the penultimate one, is build emotional sales intelligence. Become a geek around people and how they operate, and you're going to go further. And I say this because this is probably the reason I've left this one as the penultimate one, is we are in an AI world, and where the world is driven by robots and what we can achieve and do with different tools and technologies now. And look, those things are going to be important. They're going to help us do so many things, but they're never going to replace people for another 5-10 years, I don't think. Well, certainly not, hopefully not going to replace people for another 5-10 years. And the more you become a geek and understand people and how they operate and build those softer skills to communicate and build relationships, the further you're going to go and the more it's going to help you. And then point number 50, final one that I've learned is to never ever give up on your dreams and goals. If you want them enough, you can make them happen. I'm pursuing a new dream and goal. I started 2 or 3 years ago building a new company, and I'm not going to give up on that goal. And I've got the purpose to help, not giving up on the goal of trying to serve and support as many people around the world to become better at selling and to win more business. So if you've got a dream, never give up on it. So that's it. There's my 50 points that I've learned by the time I'm 50. Hope that's helpful and useful. You might think, oh, God, blimey, it takes 50. Good job you're not 60 for a while, for 10 years, James. But look, these are some things that I've just learned in my life that hopefully can be valuable to you. And like I say, I'm going to be doing a competition. So what I'm going to need you to do is head over to my Instagram, where all the details of the competition are going to be put live there. It's James White Sales. If you search on James White Sales, the same as on my other channels, you'll see details on the day we launched the podcast. This podcast will go out on the 27th of August, and we're going to run a competition for a couple of weeks, whereby we're going to offer prizes up to £5,000 worth of prizes. I'm going to put something back to celebrate me being 50. And yeah, that's what this podcast is all about this time around. So the final thing is I always finish the podcast with an inspirational story. And so I'm going to finish the podcast by talking about the inspirational story. And that story is you. And you might be thinking, who me? Yes, you, the person that's listening to this. You are an inspirational story to many people. And you might not think it. You might think, well, that's ridiculous. Well, why am I an inspirational story? But there are things you will have done in your life, or no matter how small, no matter how minuscule you might think they are, that have affected and impacted other people. So I just want to say thank you, and for you to realise you are the inspiration to lots of people. And you might not think it, but you are, whether it's your inspiration to your kids, whether you're inspiration to your brothers or sisters or mothers or fathers or aunts or uncles, or people that follow you from a business perspective, or people you work with, or people that you play a sport with or a hobby with. You will be an inspiration to someone. And your story isn't yet finished. It's to carry on. And I'm hoping I'm going to be part of that story and to help you shape the world that you want to build over the course of the next few years. And your inspirational story is still being written. But so many people don't think they're an inspiration to people. And I really encourage you to remember that you are, and that story can continue to be built and will continue to grow. So thank you for being the inspiration that you are. You're the inspirational story. And when you go for a difficult moment, remember what you've done, remember what you've achieved, what you've made happen so far. And you can feel better as a result of it. So that's it for this week's podcast edition. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please let me know. As I say, reach out, drop me a note through in the comment section, or reach out on social media, James White Sales, or if we're not connected on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me any of my social channels. Thank you so much for being the ears and giving me your time today to listen to my ramblings or 50 things I've learned by the time I'm 50. It's a momentous week for me. Half the bat is being raised, and I'm going to celebrate it with some friends and family in a great way. But thank you as ever for your ears and for your eyes, and for giving me your attention on the podcast. I'm here to help you become better. It's my purpose in life, to help you achieve more and be more successful. And whatever way I can do to make that happen, let me know. That's it for this week. Until then, have a great week, stay safe, and take care. Bye-bye.